At Camp David, President Benjamin is sparring with Mike, who is the Secret Service agent leading the Presidential Protection Division and a former Army Ranger. The president's wife Margaret and his son Connor are there as well because the family is getting ready for a charity event. Mike helps them with every detail, proving he's a close family friend and not just an employee. When it's time for the event, it starts to snow heavily in the area. Mike organizes his bodyguard team to protect the president during the trip and the family gets split. Benjamin and Margaret are in a limousine while Connor and Mike follow them in an SUV. Suddenly a branch falls on the first bodyguard vehicle, making it to slip on the ice and block the road. This causes a chain of accidents with the cars behind it. One of the Secret Service SUVs falls off the bridge and the limousine gets stuck on the edge. Margaret hits her head and falls unconscious. Thankfully the rest of the cars stop just in time. Mike and the other bodyguards run to way down the back of the limo, giving Mike the chance to open the door. Benjamin tells him that Margaret's seatbelt is stuck and the bodyguards try to open the other door too, but it's jammed. The president doesn't want to leave without his wife, however the car is about to fall so Mike cuts Benjamin's seatbelt with a knife and drags him out. The limousine then falls off the bridge, killing Margaret and the driver. 18 months later, Mike is still haunted by his guilt. He doesn't socialize much and it frustrates his wife. Mike is currently part of the Treasury Department because he's been removed from the presidential security team. The director of the Secret Service Lynn tells him that Benjamin doesn't blame Mike for his choice. He removed him from the team because seeing him reminded him of his wife's death. Meanwhile Benjamin is called to an important meeting. All his advisors are worried about the tension between North and South Korea and Benjamin wants to avoid a war, so he agrees to meet with South Korean Prime Minister Lee. Extra security cars gather around the White House for the minister's arrival and Lee brings his own men as well, including former U.S. Secret Agent Dave. At the same time a large gunship is found near North Virginia and two fighter jets surround it to ask it to land. The gunship responds by shooting at both jets, causing them to crash on civilian houses. Then the gunship starts making its way to Washington, D.C. and soon the alarm is raised in the White House. Benjamin and Lee are taken to the bunker while visitors and staff are escorted out of the building. All guards get armed and run to their positions as turrets appear on the roof. Soon the gunship reaches the city and opens fire, killing thousands of civilians. Cops and soldiers try to fire back from the ground but they get shot down as well. At the office, Mike watches everything through the window until his building gets evacuated. When the turrets open fire, the gunship uses a special defense mechanism that blocks every attack. On the streets, cars are exploding and people are panicking. Instead of running, Mike stays back to help civilians escape. Then the gunship flies above the White House and shoots every visible guard to death in just a few seconds. At that moment an American jet arrives and shoots a missile strong enough to go through the gunship's defenses. The gunship is hit and catches on fire, slowly going down and hitting the Washington Monument before crashing on the ground. The monument breaks and falls down in big pieces, also killing civilians nearby. For a moment it appears to be over and Mike approaches the White House to check the damage. Suddenly a bus blows up and causes the cars nearby to explode too. All the curious bystanders run away in panic, but Mike notices two suspicious Korean men approaching the gate. He manages to shoot one down but the other one activates a bunch of explosives. The resulting explosion creates a gap in the gate. Then a group of North Korean terrorists that came undercover with Lee's arrival reveal themselves and start shooting gas grenades at the White House's front yard. Using rocket launchers, they cause several more explosions and bring down the front security so they can storm in. A fight ensues between the Secret Service and the terrorists, with both sides losing more and more people by the second. Even the dogs are released and get shot down as well. Mike joins the fight and kills as many Koreans as he can as they continue to advance. Suddenly a sniper appears to kill cops from afar with perfect precision, however Mike sees her and shoots her in the head.